The game has changed. Money is different than it used to be, right? Access to the public is different, therefore the game has changed, right? Remember back in the day when we were more of a cash-based society, right? People had cash in their pockets. And therefore ready for immediate exchange. Nowadays, things are more on the internet. And this requires a different approach when it comes to accessing the public. You know, I've been actually feeling, honestly, very socially awkward since the pandemic. You know, before I was realizing that, you know, before the pandemic, you know, I had a different energy, a different level of risk taking. And even then, even in my last major contract that I did do in the water restoration business, man, you know, it took a lot to get it done. And, you know, I'm not so sure why, but I haven't really been prosperous since, you know. But every day, you know, I'm waking up extremely motivated, blessed, ready to create, inspired. And I just want to be productive. But I also understand that it is very important to not only produce, but be able to produce something of value to offer others in exchange for currency. All right, so it's like, okay, I've always been the type of person to produce something to exchange for money, and I love it. I love the art of exchange, whether it was selling oils or repairing computers or servicing a emergency water restoration account or selling art, whatever it is. You know, I enjoy the process of interacting with another person and fulfilling their desire, right? And being able to be compensated and exchanged. Now, the problem I have with sales is as soon as I sell the sandwich, I need to find another buyer, because that one sale is not going to translate into anything substantial. It's not going to pay a bill. It's not going to feed me. You know, I make $5, but it may cost me $20 a day to feed my family. So I need to sell 5 sandwiches with a profit margin of $5 in order to be able to make the $25 to feed my family. And I need to do this over and over and over again. So as I'm thinking about our ecosystem, we live in the United States, where we have easy access to capital than any other place in the world. And trillions, multi-trillions of dollars is circulating over our heads, or circulating in our environment, right? In our ecosystem, I should say, our economy. So outside our doors, people are moving and shaking, going to and fro. And in the marketplace, trillions of dollars are circulating through our highways, through our banking systems, through our networks. And so I'm thinking, okay, if trillions of dollars is circulating through the ecosystem, how do we tap in to get a small percentage of it? You know, and what's the key? What are we missing? And, you know, when you ask, the answer comes, right? Listen to this. The whole earth had one language and one speech. One language, one speech. They came to pass as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. Then they said to one another, "Come, let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly." That's masonry. They had brick for stone. They had asphalt for mortar. And they said, "Come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower, whose top is in the heavens. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered abroad over the face of all the earth." But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the sons of men had built. And the Lord said, "Indeed, the people are one, and they all have one language. And this is what they begin to do. Now nothing that they propose to do will be withheld from them. Come, let us go down and there confuse their language, that they may not understand one another's speech." So the Lord scattered them abroad from there over the face of all the earth, and they ceased building the city. Therefore his name is called Babel, because there the Lord confused the language of all the earth. And from there the Lord scattered them abroad over the face of all the earth. So you see that the scattered abroad was used 3 times, because this is what the story is about. It's about a diaspora. And the Lord came down and see the city and the tower which the sons of men had built. That's Cairo. The towers are the pyramids in Giza. He came down from Assyria, and he came to Cairo, Kemet, and he seen the tower and the city that the sons of men is the black fertility god, and his seeds, his offspring. The towers wasn't built by one person. It was built by a nation of people, right? And the Lord says, "Indeed, the people are one, and they all have one speech, one language." This means they have a oneness. This means the unity, right? They were all thinking and speaking the same language. They were united. And because they were united, it says, now nothing that they propose to do will be withheld from them. Anything that they put their minds to, now nothing that they imagine can be withheld from them. Anything is possible. That is what we're missing. And he said, the Lord said, "Come, let us go down in there and confuse their language." The original word was confound, which means to shock, to bewilder, right? To flabbergast, to siege, besieged, to discombobulate, to confuse. This is the Lord of confusion. But people confuse the Lord with God. But this story is not about God. This reason why it says the sons of Cush were Seba, Havilah, Hepzibah, Rama, and the sons of Rama were Sheba and Dedan. Cush begot Nimrod. Cush begot Nimrod. Nimrod was not considered the son of Cush, but it says Cush begot Nimrod. He began to be a mighty one on the earth, right? He was a mighty one on the earth. And it says he was a mighty hunter before the Lord. Therefore it is said, like Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. And it has multiple meanings. Before the Lord is mentioned twice. That's because this is before the Lord came down and seen the city in Genesis 11. We're reading Genesis 10. But before the Lord came down and see the city that the sons of men had built, Nimrod and the sons of men had built, right? Before he came down, Nimrod was a mighty hunter. And it says, like Nimrod, the mighty hunter, that is Orion. The Greeks renamed the star constellation in which the pyramids or the towers are built up to, right? The Orion's belt. And Orion's belt is the dark and the morning, the bright and morning star. Christ said, I am the root, which is the Nile River, and the offspring of David, right? He's from the river of Egypt, meaning he was taken to Egypt, because it says, out of Egypt I call my son. The father, the seed, the spirit comes from Egypt, is the root, and the offspring of David, meaning he was from Israel, right? This is the reason why it says, out of Egypt I'll call my son, and he shall be called a Nazarene. He was a mixed breed, but because the father was black, this is kept secret. This was obscure. This was cut out. This is this is unspoken. This is something that ought not to be done. This was the problem with Shisham in the Dinah incident. The African is not supposed to be dealing with the Nazarenes, the Ashkenaz. So it says in Genesis 10:10, that in the beginning of his kingdom was Babel, Iraq, and Al-Qaid, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. So that's where Genesis 11 takes place. It's in Egypt, the land of Shinar. Then it says, from that land he went to Assyria and built Nineveh, Roth birth Ir, and risen between Nineveh and Calah. That is the principal city. So he went from his homeland where he built into the land of Assyria and built there a Freemason. Then the story becomes about Mizraim, which is the Aramaic and Hebraic name for the land of Kemet, or Egypt. So in Genesis 10, Egypt is called Mizraim. And in Genesis 11, Egypt is called Babel. And in Genesis 12, they now call Kemet. They now call Kemet Egypt. As Abram comes in, the Egyptian word, or the Greek word Egypt is used. Babel was the name given because it means confused, right? If you go to the pyramids to this day and you stand outside and you listen to the sound, what you will hear is Arabic, English, French, Russian, Spanish. You will hear the translators from the tour guides from all over the world. Yeah, man. All right. All right, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it. All right, bye.